number 3 of the Rich Eisen Show. We're on the air having a good time because, well, when you show up early and we love hanging out and you want to hang out, you join us here in studio hour number 3. We've been already having Jerome Bettis and Tom Verducci on phone, but I turn to my right and welcome back in person from the Rich Eisen Show's past, now current, present. The Fighter and the Kid podcast with Brendan Schaub is what he's been on talking about quite a bit, but he's in ABC's Schooled, second season, Schooled, the Goldberg spinoff comedy set in the 90s, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m., 7:30 Central on ABC. Good to see you back, Bryan Callen. How are you, brother?
Good to be here, my friend. I'm wearing a collared shirt in honor, just out of respect.
Out of respect.
Worked out yesterday, so I'm a little sore. I had my trainer, because, you have to have a trainer in LA.
Yeah.
He had me flipping a tire. Just in case I'm ever in a situation. I feel like somebody is holding my cheeks. I can't.
Right now?
You know that whole area that gets very sore?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm feeling a little sensitive, a little tender.
Well, you know
nothing changes. I work out. I just feel sore, but nothing grows.
Here's where I'm coming from. I didn't have a tire. I mean, what
you didn't have a tire?
What sort of?
But yet you have an amazing body. You guys haven't seen him standing up. My God, in person, it's arresting.
You should, by the way.
Yeah, and I don't use the word arresting often.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Was this what type of tire was this?
It was a tractor tire. So you get under it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a donut that you put on your car.
Dude, what do I look like? Have you seen my lower body? I'm too bad I'm wearing tights underneath this. But here's the thing.
Yes.
You gotta and then he's like, keep your back straight. You gotta get your and then explode.
Of course, explode.
I'm 52.
I'm 50. I played tennis for an hour yesterday.
You know what?
That is serious workout, man.
Do you play tennis?
I'm learning it.
Dude,
Once again,
I can't play with you.
Why?
I can't play with you. Well, my top spin. I mean, if you're a beginner, you got to be somewhere in Kentucky to return my top spin.
Okay.
Yeah, I come up. Hey, this is the noise I make, not to be obnoxious.
It's going what?
Hey, it's that.
Right.
Hey, like that. Now look at where my elbow is. That's how I end.
That's
okay?
impressive.
Now I know it is, dude.
Do you grunt and yell like that when you hit?
Bro, I have to. I'm putting my here. Hold on. I stand up. My whole body, I come off.
Yeah.
And then I come off the ground.
Like Nadal. You're like Nadal. You're off the...
Like that. I go like this. I go, shut up. And then my backhand is... So that's feminine. Yeah, my
It's like it's a nice little slice.
Yeah, I slice it. So you're like, I got to go all the way back here in Kentucky and then come back home. It's too late. You can't run. My serve is gender neutral. So, got that going. Sorry, guys. I can't. I'm getting a little sweaty.
Oh my gosh! So you're flipping.
That hurt my body.
You see, you're flipping tires. Yeah. You're slicing. Yeah. You're top spinning. You're top spinning. You're top spinning, slicing, and flipping tires.
In a couple of years, if you apply yourself, you give me a call. We'll get on the court. We'll bat the ball around.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to brush. I'm still learning how to brush.
It's not easy. It's all fundamentals.
And it's funny. By the way, did you see how I'm moving my hand? We had Timothy Oliphant on back in what was it, March for the Deadwood
he's
movie.
A pro.
He's a serious tennis player.
Yes.
So I used my arm to show how I hit the backhand, and I came forward with my hand. Just like I was slapping a wall.
Yeah.
He just stopped me dead in my tracks and just tore me a new one. Like absolutely tore me a new one. Now I'm brushing.
So what I'm
saying, I'm coming over. I'm brushing, but I'm not screaming. Maybe I need to add the grunt into my game.
You'll take my workshop and we'll go from there. It's $5,600 for the weekend, but it's worth it. Well, I heard that Nadal, after he won Wimbledon, I don't know if this is true, but I heard. He was my friend's in the game, He plays, and he said, and I guess he knows him, and he said when Nadal came back, he'd won. They were like, and he goes, I know, but I'm just my grip. I feel like I should be more over. He was still tweaking his grip. It's those little details.
Maybe I should start tweaking my grip.
We'll talk about it.
Bryan Callen here on the Rich Eisen Show.
You got to tweak your grip, bro.
You got a news update over there that Brian's going to join us?
I got lots of fun stuff.
Okay, here you go.
Foxborough authorities say a Rhode Island man visiting the Patriots Hall of Fame took a Tom Brady jersey off display and walked out with it.
What?
I'm outraged. But
he was freed on a personal recognizance after a not guilty plea to larceny was entered on behalf.
What do you think? It was just for sale, and he just took it?
I guess. He said he was wearing the jersey under his jacket when he was apprehended in the vicinity of the Hall of Fame.
The signed jersey. What's with Brady and jerseys just going walking?
Jerseys
from his own personal
$10,000.
locker, from his own Super Bowl locker, from his own pro. Hall of Fame.
Well, everyone thinks he's
Patriots-
not going to be on the team next year, so just trying to grab as much memorabilia as we can from Tom.
I understand the temptation. I mean, it is Brady. It's a piece of history. I was in a store recently where an older man was talking, and I just watched him very deliberately grab some candy and just put it in his pocket. He just went like that and then put it in his pocket. And I just watched this thief. And then he said, "What's over there?" And he did it again. And I went, should I say something? And I was like, you know what, though? You're 1,000 years old. Go ahead with yourself.
Exactly.
I mean,
at certain point, I mean, a $5 discount
candy.
of some candy in a store.
What type
right?
of candy,
Yeah.
Brian?
Hard candy, of course. Because you can suck on it.
Right.
Doesn't get in the way of your dentures. Yeah, and then I robbed him of his candy when he got out of the store.
A childhood memory of mine, and my mom watches every day. Her dad, my grandpa Leo, always had hard candy in his pocket, and he would just sometimes take out and just give it to me in the middle of nowhere.
I stole an orange from a fruit stand.
Yeah.
When I was a very small boy, and I remember my mother making me go back to the guy and telling him that I stole an orange. And
This
is
sounds
a
like-
kid I remember going, I took an orange.
This sounds like a Coppola movie right there.
I know.
This
And
is-
that was my life. That was my life in crime. That's how it started.
It's like, dun, 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 dun. Oh, my God.
I just watched the 2-hour interview with Sammy the Bull Gravano. Made me like the guy. I'll be honest with you. You killed 19 schmineteen. Who cares? You killed some people.
I think I went to grade school with one of his family members.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We all knew.
Yeah.
Oh, I grew up in Staten Island.
Yeah. Couple guys.
Couple of guys. By the
Just
way,
mind your P's and Q's.
you gotta make sure.
Yeah.
Make sure. Hey, if somebody wants a juice box, you understand. What happened with Nick Saban yesterday?
Okay, so let's hear from Nick Saban. So, of course, Tua's out this week.
Yes.
So they're starting a sophomore quarterback. But Tua's younger brother, Tolia Tagovailoa, is on the roster, and he was asked.
They've taken on 2-5 Arkansas. Arkansas is just not nearly as good as they've
Ever since Bielema left.
right to be
So-
on the Patriots staff.
Right. So he was asked if Tua's brother is going to get any time. Is this an opportunity to kind of see what you got with this kid and to get him in the game and get some reps?
Because just in front of this, if you say that to Nick, that means you're assuming the competition is so beneath Alabama
Right.
that you're going to use a home game against Arkansas like it's a spring practice.
Like it's a practice, like it's a scrimmage, a time to
no.
get some reps. So
Oh, no.
here's Nick Saban.
Oh, no.
Will there be an effort to get Talia into the game just to expedite his progression?
We're focused on winning the game. All right, so we're going to try to win the game, and we're going to play the best players that we can play to win the game.
Oh, no.
And we're not assuming that it's going to be an easy game.
Look out.
All right, and we're not assuming that we'll have opportunity just to play anybody that wants to play, to expedite anything except winning the game. So we're going to play everybody who can expedite winning the game. That's what we're going to do. So I don't think anybody should expect us to do anything else.
I love bottom line guys. Yes.
Walk off with the head shake.
Head shake.
Yes. Bottom line. No nonsense. We need more of that. I love it.
Because, I mean, again, the premise of the question is like, so.
Great question,
We're
though.
going to just assume you're going to beat Arkansas's ass up and down the block. So why don't you just use some of this free time to get in some extra work for players who are third on the depth chart? What do you think?
The freshman
Is that-
quarterback shows some promise.
And here's the thing, like, is that the plan? So for him to basically say, yeah, that's the plan. We plan on beating Arkansas. Yeah.
But I do think that if you've got a team you can march over and you got your starters, you would do well to rest them and not risk injury. I've always said that if you look at teams, I've never done the math on this, but I think there are a lot of teams that if their defense is injured, their stars, like their defensive line, a lot of them are injured in the beginning of the season and they have time to rest and then they come in game 6. They're in a better position by the time.
But Saban's from the Belichick mold. I mean, that's literally where he came from. He was on the staff
Right.
as Belichick's on the verge of his 300th career win. He was on the staff, I think, when Bill got his first. I think he was an assistant right from the get-go in Cleveland for Belichick. I'm not sure. At any rate, he is a Belichick guy. Bill kept Brady and the entire starting offense on the field against the Jets on Monday night all the way to the end. Because, and it's not part of the plan going in, but when it does happen, when it breaks out like that, Bill and Brady view those moments as crucial reps to get better.
I guess so. You just risk injury. If you're Belichick, you could basically fill the slot with a high school player and you're still going to win. That guy's just unbelievable. He's just a genius. So it feels like he doesn't need anybody. Trades Randy Moss. Don't worry about it. We'll get somebody else. We'll get some Irish guy in there. That's Belichick. So I guess, but for me, the philosophy would be: you're precious. Stay on the sideline. We don't want to get you injured.
Let's talk a little UFC with Bryan
so he
Callen.
has announced his fight. He's going to fight next year, early January 2020. No opponent, but it will be in Las Vegas. We have some sound from Conor. Here we go.
Okay, let's check it out.
I would like to announce to the public the return of the notorious Conor McGregor will take place on January 18th in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that is my comeback fight. It is 12 weeks this Saturday. I'm in prime physical condition. I have agreed the date with the I've agreed the date with the company. As far as the opponent, I have the opponent's name, but for me, the game I am in, and from experience, if I was to give you people the name, which I would love to do, I know the UFC would flip it because they are a crafty company. So for me, here's this one. Ask the UFC who the opponent is, because I do not give a who the opponent is. January 18th, the return of the notorious Conor McGregor, 12 weeks this Saturday at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. That will be the beginning of my season. I will then look to compete against the winner of Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal for the bad mother title. Obviously, I have history with Nate Diaz. We are set to make the trilogy bout. So we will see how that one goes. I feel Nate will get the better of that one. And we will contest the trilogy bout. Then I will seek the Moscow bout. And it will be against the winner of Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. I can't even say the guy's name. Who gives a the guy's name is? But that is the bout we want. We want this bout in Moscow. The people of Russia deserve this bout to take place. The people of the world deserve this bout to take place. It is an inevitable rematch. It is a rematch that I will come in sharp, fresh. I will have no injuries. I will have no alcohol. I will have no outside influences. I will be fully focused. Exactly what the people deserve. Exactly what the fans deserve. And we will settle it once and for all.
Everybody calm down. You just calm down. He doesn't want any part of Khabib Nurmagomedov, all right? He's just, the guy is a problem you can't solve. I don't know what you do with that wrestling. Khabib walks around at 200 pounds. He's a bear.
He's wrestled them. He's beaten them up.
He does whatever he wants to you. He just locks your legs up like this. He locks them up, and now you're like this, and you're like, oh, my wrestling is gone. Then he just slams it out. You can't. I don't want to see him do that. I want to see him. I love his attitude. I think he's great for the UFC. I want to see him fight somebody he can stand with, not wrestle.
So there's a lot to unpack with what we just heard, Bryan.
Yeah.
Let's start with first things first. Radio audience, you didn't see. The only way I could describe his look, to use, I guess, a Vegas pop culture reference, is Matt Damon in Ocean's 11. The way that he, at the very end, where he played somebody who was from the Vegas Authority, right?
Yeah, the gaming board.
The gaming board with the glasses
Yeah.
and a suit and a tie, and then the hair the hair very neatly slicked back. What's that look? What was that?
He's always dressed to a T. We had him on Fighter and the Kid, and he just showed up in the tightest white pants and this fantastic watch. He sparkles. The man sparkles. He's a star. But Matt Damon is, you know what I can never get over with that guy? I love him as an actor. I love him.
Yeah.
I think it was the first Shaq Ryan or whatever it was, when he's running down the beach. And do you remember this? And he was
movie.
kicking his legs way too high. And I swear to God, I'm with my friend in the middle of the theater. I go, guy's never done a sport. My friend goes, I agree. I can't abide by the fact that you're running, you're hightailing like that. You gotta, I don't know. There's a way to run. If you can't run like that, then I gotta see your passport. Are you an American? What's going on?
But that glasses look right there. I mean, that was something.
No, listen, it's an intellectual. I'm sure those glasses don't work, but there's something sexy about it. He's
Those aren't real,
sponsored.
right?
No.
Those aren't real.
No, but you look, if you're muscular and you have glasses, it's a wonderful contrast.
It's kind of a Ewan McGregor look that he's got working
You're
right there.
right.
Do you know
You're
what I
right
mean? Like
about
that's
that.
enough. I mean, that's the way
Separated
he's
at birth.
That's the way he's looking right there. So there's
Yeah.
that. Nate Diaz just tapped out at 244. So what's he talking about with Nate?
I believe that Nate will be exonerated.
Okay.
I believe that Nate Diaz is too macho to do any kind of a performance-enhancing drug. I'm serious. That guy would look at you and be like, I'll fight him. Wake me up from a nap. I don't even have to train. I just don't buy. But these tests, what was his name? What's his name? The guy who they call him the Golden Snitch. The guy who runs USADA. Good guy, actually. But he was saying that these tests are so sensitive now, they pick up on anything. It's like a seismograph. If there's any little,
An elevated level is
so,
what it's being.
elevated levels of what? I'm not buying it. I usually would be like, yes, he's dirty. I'm saying Nate Diaz is clean. I put all my money on it. There's no way.
So
and
what-
if he is, maybe he drank maybe he took a certain, like maybe a gasoline station sex pill. I don't know. He's innocent. He's innocent. I say Nate Diaz is innocent. Let
Okay.
him fight Jorge Masvidal. Those are two of my favorite fighters. The Diaz brothers and Jorge Masvidal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every man, when you see Jorge Masvidal, the way he wants to fight so badly, I produce estrogen around that guy. I watch it and I'm just like, I'll cook for you.
Elevated levels?
What do you? I have elevated levels. The whole time I'm looking at him, I'm like, God, I thought I was straight this whole time. I'm so confused. Come on, Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz. I'd love to throw Conor into that mix, but I say against Jorge Masvidal,
Yeah.
Conor doesn't want that fight. I mean, he wants it, but I don't think so.
So what fight does Conor really want?
I think you got to give Conor somebody who's strictly a striker. I don't know. Tony Ferguson, these people are monsters. They live and breathe it. Conor is a true fighter, but he's so wealthy. He's such a celebrity. I don't know how you compete with that kind of hunger.
Why doesn't he want to go and just be a celebrity?
Because he's
then?
a fighter. In his heart, you don't get to where he got without being a savage. I just think, though, that there's some people that are that puzzle, the stuff they do, the way they live and breathe fighting, their ingenuity, it's very hard to deal with. Remember, a lot of the guys that Conor starched was at 45 when he was a big 45, and his boxing was high level in comparison to those guys.
Right.
He'd stay on the edge of the pocket. He understood distance. He had longer arms. He'd hit you and you go to sleep. Then he started fighting guys who were bigger. When he fought Nate Diaz the first fight, I went, I've never seen Nate get hurt. I've never seen him get dropped, really. I've seen him get picked up and slammed to the ground, but I didn't think he had the power, and that's exactly what happened. So I don't know, man. At 55, Conor's natural weight is 170. 170, that's his frame. Khabib walks at 195. Ask Dustin Poirier about that. Dustin's a beast, and it's just sometimes you're just too strong. Come here. That's what he does. Hey, come on. That's hilarious. That's adorable. Let me just put your jaw in your neck. Come on. When he was beating up, who was it? Michael Johnson. He was going, come on, buddy. Tap, buddy. You know the belt is mine, buddy. Tap. Come on. He's beating him up. Come on. I don't want to hurt you. I mean, when you can do that, when you're going, come on, man, tap. I don't want to keep doing this to your nose.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm getting sweaty.
Bryan Callen here on the Rich Eisen
Khabib
Show.
accent. My apologies.
No, by the way, it's not. I mean, you do this for a living. I've heard your accent. What's your best accent? What's
My
your best
best
accent?
is probably if I were to play someone who's from England. I've always wanted to be someone who's an aristocrat. I want to be an evil aristocrat. I want to say things. I want to own land and hounds, and I want to say things like, "Release the hounds." And I want to have a dungeon where I keep people, and I want to come down and say, you know how they keep you in a dungeon, English aristocrats, and then you're chained to a wall, and that you still want to marry them just because of the way they apologize? You know what I mean? They come down and they go, I do apologize for your rather restrictive accommodations. It was unavoidable. I'd hoped we'd be friends, but alas, you wouldn't cooperate. Yes, your silence is to be expected. I know you think of me as some kind of monster, and I will not deny that sin is my speciality. I have indeed mastered the art of deception, murder, thievery, and even perversion, Rich. All right,
Seems like you've done this before.
Maybe. I just improvised.
Do you have an ascot on? Is that
Of
what
course
it's
I do. And a cane. I went pheasant hunting in England with my friend who made $1 billion, and
Okay.
I had to wear I had to wear like knickers and a tie.
Sure.
And the one dude showed up in a cane, didn't need it, with an ascot, and they're all alcoholics, just drinking. They're all 35. He's got an ascot. It was incredible. And we killed all the pheasants. We killed all of them. They flushed them with birds. You have a loader, a dude who does not ace. He's not posh. No, he's got his sort of cockney. And he would I didn't have to load my shotgun. I go, load please. And he'd load, and then the birds would fly overhead, and I just, at first I was like, I don't want to kill them, and about 5 minutes later I was like, die! You got anything automatic? You got an automatic weapon? I killed everything that flew. So there it is.
It's funny. We had Tyson Fury on here, Bryan Callen on the Rich Eisen show.
Love that guy.
We had Tyson Fury here about 2-3 months ago when he came in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I went back. As always, I always like going back to our green room when a guest is here before. And I walked in, and it was literally like a Guy Ritchie movie in our green room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
gypsies.
Where all of his friends were there, and just saying how they're excited to be here, and just talking about. And I'm assuming that's what they're saying. I didn't understand. I'm seriously. I did not understand a word.
Yeah. They've got that Cockney rhyme and things, and they're all like, he's got that really deep voice, and he talks like this. Yeah, it's
and
great
they're talking really
I'm
fast.
in America right now. I'm not even going to punch you in the face.
I honestly thought this is going to be a fascinating conversation, not only because I'm just a fan of his story and his and
Great
everything
boxer.
about him, right? And I just wanted to delve into it, but get to some of the more interesting parts in the most ginger fashion I possibly could to get in and out.
Yeah.
And then but I've left them. I came out here and I said to you, I said, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to understand a word that they're going to say.
His cut man was doing magic tricks.
Yeah, that's right. After
his cut man was doing magic tricks.
Crazy.
And he was dressed like Conor McGregor, like to the nines.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it was.
That's the kind of thing where
wild.
you walk into your own green room and we never see you again. What happened to Rich? I don't know, man. He disappeared. I haven't seen the man. I don't know where it is. And you're just living in his coat somewhere.
Somewhere in his pocket. He's right here, and they take him out, take him out of his pocket.
Do you like to see my Rich? His name is Rich. You can play with him for a while. Give him back to me. He's mine now. I don't know.
That's exactly what it was like, man.
Yeah.
Oh my! Yeah, there he is, right there, dressed in this great
Look at
shirt.
him.
And he had these John Stockton shorts.
They were very short.
Okay, which by the way would come down to my shins,
Yes.
but on
He
him they were
looks your
John
size
Stockton.
there. That's the thing about photography. You look like you're actually bigger than Tyson Fury.
Well, that's the optical illusion of the desk
he
and
could
the
pick
chair.
you up and throw you around like a baton if he wanted.
And he was just kind of slumped in the chair, and his legs came all the way halfway to my desk, and it was wild. And then at one point, I asked him about, against Wilder and what happened, and he talked about how he got up, and I'm like, well, some people would think that you got kind of more than 10 seconds,
Killed.
11 seconds, and then he just gave me this look. And then went off on this amazing soliloquy where he answered the question. And, well, what would you say to something like, what would people say if I told them about, driving down a road at 100 miles an hour and, staring into the abyss? I'm paraphrasing, like basically like staring into the abyss and thinking about death and all. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then again, I'm thinking, is he saying this, number one? And two, am I understanding everything that's coming out of his mouth?
Yeah, that's when you're listening super hard because you don't want to make him mad.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to be a tough guy. It'll never happen.
Tell me about Schooled, sir. It looks like you're having a lot of fun on this program.
It's a blast. Tim Meadows, come on. Tim Meadows, we got the Anna Gasteyer, all this Saturday Night Live alum.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when you're an actor, as long as I've been doing this game, a lot of times you get hired, you're on the set, without exception, including The Joker, including The Hangover, whatever movie it might be that's big, you're always allowed to improvise. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to add some stuff. And then you do the Goldbergs for as long as I did. Now I'm doing Schooled. The writing to me is, I don't have to fill in any gaps. They do the work for you. So I just show up, hang out with a bunch of people I like, and then I do stuff like that. And I act like a silly goose.
And it's another hit for this series. I mean, my gosh.
I know. I finally did it. You know what I mean? People are like, hey, you're successful. Okay. Yeah, I've been doing it. I hit one. It's like you just keep swinging at every pitch.
Well, you mentioned a couple movies that you're in. Obviously, Joker, Hangover. What was it like on the set of Bad Santa? What was it like there, man?
By the way, same writer-director as the Joker. A lot of people don't know that.
Todd
his
Phillips.
Name's not on it.
Yeah, right.
The page one rewrite and directed it. That was Billy Bob Thornton's just a great dude. He's just a great guy. And watching that guy improvise, that's another guy who would just do a different take every time you didn't know what was going to go on.
Yeah.
Wanted to do his own stunts. Was a baseball player, fancies himself an athlete. So, I don't know. The whole thing was, anytime you're working with people like that, it's just exciting. Just happy to be there. The acting gets in the way.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Bryan Callen. At Bryan Callen on both Twitter and Instagram. Check out, again, the Fighter and the Kid podcast. A number of times I have said to you and Brendan on this show that I would come on your show.
You have a standing invite.
I know. You keep saying that.
We're
and then
Rich
it
Eisen
doesn't,
fans.
And then it does not, land on the desk.
I'm going to call you and bother you.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Check out Schooled on ABC, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m., 7:30 Central, every single Wednesday.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.